Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Got another weed zapping video for you, obviously. This is the first time that I have zapped this. If you caught the crop update video, this is right along the road, and it is the worst section of it all. I'll show you a little bit more coming up here, but so anyway, we're going to try and clean these up and get some soybeans out of it. So I will definitely have a after of this once I get it done. Oh, there's a choo-choo. So I'm going right up here along the train tracks and take a walk out there and make sure that it's dry. Moisture in the ground is fine. Moisture on the plants is a problem, because what happens is they get on these insulators, the moisture does, and then you zap to the insulators and you can literally melt them off. So you can't go when there's dew or rain on the plants themselves. So I'll go do a little walk into it and see what it's like, or if I gotta sit here in the air-conditioned cab and listen to the radio for half an hour or so. Also show you my camera here. That's so I can see that front boom, and I also lowered the whole monitor here so that I can see the edge of that boom out there without leaning up or trying to look around the monitor. I like it a lot better. So I'm gonna quit blabbing here, and we'll get into some action. So this is a little more representative of what the field actually looks like. I've gone over that already. I'm not getting them all zapped. It is what it is. Probably wait a couple more days, but I just think it's going to be beneficial to get the thicker patches killed here. And by the time you're going through it, just to get through the patches, you might as well come through and kill all of this stuff. I'm going faster than this, but I've slowed down to record, so it's kind of hard to control everything, keep an eye on everything, and pay attention to where I'm pointing the camera. So slow down a little bit to up my chances. That works nicely. I need to move where it's at a little bit, but we're coming along good here. I'll bring it back. How much better does that look? Wow. Not perfect yet, like I said. Past 1 or 2, but probably be the only farmer you'll ever hear with this problem, but my beans are growing faster than the weeds. Darn it, need the weeds to grow faster for a little bit. But I shouldn't complain about that, I know. So that's the back side. It wasn't that bad. I'm curious to see what the front side is now. It's been a while. I did middle field and part of the back field here. See what it looks like. If anyone was wondering why I quit so early, the dew has set in already. That's water on the tire there. See that too. Come early tonight. What can I say? That is a beautiful sight there. But what we're all curious to see here is how this turned out along the road. Oh, look at the difference. I got no complaints. none complaints. Or a cleaner window to look out of. I mean, night and day difference. Look at that. Feel the soybeans again. Look at that. Wow. Stop right here. You see all the dead ones in there. You also see ones that I didn't touch, but like I said, I brought it back to a field of soybeans again. I mean, isn't that something? Really liking the new camera here too. That made it nice, just being able to lean back and watch everything instead of sitting up, hurting my back. So, I'm going to pick this back up again tomorrow. We'll take a look at this in the morning, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here's a pretty bad section. I'm going to get a really good before and after. I'm going to come through just this bottom pass here, and then I'm going to go back up. I got about halfway through this field yesterday before the dew set in. But I'm going to do this pass here just one time, and then when I get back down here, I'm going to stop and we'll take a look and see what the difference is side by side. Thought it'd be pretty interesting. Ought to be a good view, as long as I don't electrocute my camera anyhow, right? Alright, let's see how this works out. Okay, so now see what it looks like once I get back down here to this pass. We'll stop and we'll take a look. Soybeans here look really good. Figured I'd bring you guys along. Never have I ever consistently ran this tractor like this before, but it's where I get the best kill rate. It's where it keeps the RPMs when she starts digging. Have to be right at about 2,500 to keep the generator spinning. Get into some thick stuff and I really open it up. hour and a half, maybe 2 hours since I zapped that over there. We're coming right up alongside it. It's such a wonderful sight. Like, hey, there's soybeans in there. Who knew? So I walked back down here where I set you guys up on the tripod. It's the same view in case you don't remember what it looked like. So what a transformation in about 2 hours, right? Goes from that to this. We'll walk out in here and look at a couple of these. See the discoloration in the stem all the way down it. Same with that one. Some of these bigger ones are still standing up, but they're gonna die. Those are littler ones here. They were all pretty darn big, really. But how much better does that look? Help the soybeans set nice heavy pods, and you guys know what that means. It's right here about the right time. They're just starting to set them too, so really beneficial to get these knocked down, even if I don't kill them all. Because you got some short ones that didn't get zapped, got missed, like this one. I just caught the top of it. That one's not really discolored. Well, it is a little bit, but it's gonna die now. I just need to start calling this thing the stress reliever. You guys have no idea. I was curious yesterday how well the soybeans would bounce back after me driving through them there. There's my roads where I drove through, and they were kind of brushed over a little bit. Now today, they perked right back up, and can't hardly tell that I was through there, so that's another good sign. If I had a tractor that set a little higher with narrower tires on it, I really wouldn't be bothering them. So, need to get this thing paid off so I can get one of them, right? Get to work. Yep. Never knew that I was investing in a stress reliever. I didn't ever think about that. Tell you what, it's the middle of the day, I feel like I did a hard day's work, go take a nap, honestly. About how stressed I am right now. Oh man, love this thing. So this is the start of the second pass on the other part of the farm. As you can see, it's mostly grass sticking up, so we got the machine set to grass and second pass only, and we'll come back and look at this tomorrow or the next day, because going through it here you won't be able to tell much of a difference in the grass, but we'll look at it when I get done and then come back in a couple of days to take a look at it. Like I said, it takes a little longer for the grass to really show signs of it. It does look better though. We'll come and check on it tomorrow morning. So here we are 2 days later in that patch. Nice flat soybean field. As you can see, we didn't kill everything. This machine isn't going to be a 100% you know, fix-all. But what it is doing, as you can see, there's soybeans there instead of grass. You know, the grass is not getting all the sunlight the soybeans are. So that's really nice. And we've knocked down, I don't know, I'd say 80% of the weeds, you know. Only 20% of the weed problem that I would have had. Can't argue with that. Soybeans just keep growing here. If you're around, oh, that doesn't help. Standing in them here, I mean, they just keep going. Look at that. Wait, I'm gonna pull one out. I'm just gonna. Anyway, I'm gonna pull one out and see how it's doing and see how we're setting pods and stuff. We'll go from there. Now I want to get down here and point this out. Problem that I was having. You can see we're knocking some down. And it's not all the way through, it's just if I wasn't driving 100% perfectly, the rear tires would knock a little bit down, as you can see here. So I went over to the machine shop and fixed that problem. We'll show you what I did with that. So here's one soybean plant. I'm pretty darn happy with it. 3 beans per pod. I'm not seeing any 4 pods this year, but I'm not seeing any 2 pods either so far. Still setting pods up here, and as long as, well, I got the grass knocked down back here, it shouldn't abort any of these, you know, so hopefully if we can consistently be like that, I mean, that's easily 50 bushel the acre. No, these aren't my bush lattes. I don't drink bush. Anyhow, we'll go back. There's more grass back there. I'll go see what that looks like. I'm awfully curious. Well, I accidentally left a perfect example here. I must have got off on my rows here. This is a row of soybeans that didn't get zapped. This is what it looked like back here, guys. Grass standing tall, and what it turned into too. There's soybeans in there. Ah, that machine is amazing. I'm surprised at how much it kills the grass. When I got it hired done, it was a bigger machine, and it didn't kill the grass like this. It just kind of browned the tops. But I mean, this grass is dying. It's dead. So I'm really happy with that. That's for darn sure. That one's got a grass setting on it. Maybe the one that he was running, it didn't have a grass setting, and there's something about it. I don't know. Don't know enough about them, to be perfectly honest. This is what I do know. Look at that. There's going to be a crop here. You know, that there, right as we're setting all these pods, that's what it looked like back here. And as you're setting all these pods, they're taking moisture, they're taking nutrients, they're taking sunlight is, you know, a big one, because they're, you know, you want your beans to be the canopy, not the weeds to be the canopy for the beans. And that's been a major issue in this field, grass problems. And soybeans usually look good at this time of year, but then that grass takes over and it aborts a lot of the beans that they're setting. And you don't get much of a crop off of it. So hopefully we'll get something this year. I don't think it's going to be, you know, 50 like over there or better, but it's definitely not going to be a wasted crop, that's for darn sure. Hell, I'd be happy with 30. I'd be super happy with 30 back here. Well, this whole field, it could go 30. I'd be happy. As crazy as that sounds. But I don't know. The way the farm's looking, I got a feeling I'll be doing over 50. But don't count your chickens before they hatch. I know. I know. One early snowstorm could wipe that all out. soybean field, guys. Look at it. It's not a grass patch. The more I use this machine, the happier it makes me, everybody. I've said this before, but I think it might be some of the best money I've spent on the farm so far. Alright, so here's the next field before. Problems up at this end of the field. That's what's sticking up out there. They'd be 9 foot tall right now if I hadn't zapped them. That's better. Much better, actually. Alright guys, that's an organic field. Look at that. It's not 100%. This machine isn't going to do 100%. This late season, these late season weeds usually take over. You can keep everything clean while you're cultivating, and then you get to this point, too big to cultivate anymore, and whatever you don't get through walking and pulled, it's just a mess. It's just what it is. This machine's a long time coming. I definitely needed something like this. Something for these late season weeds. Like I said, they're still in there, but you know, only 20% of them instead of all 100% that I would have. I'm saying that I killed about 80% of them. Makes me very happy. I'm right here at these button weeds here. I want to touch base on this. If you notice that these Japanese beetles are eating these button leaves. And then if you take a look at the soybeans, there is some damage on them. Like, that's actually from grasshoppers. But you notice the button weeds. So once your plant makes a complete solid, which meaning that the plant is a healthy plant, it's matured, it's got all of the proteins inside of the molecular structure, I guess we'll say. We'll get fancy with it. But anyway, once it's a complete solid, the bugs can no longer digest it. It's like a vegan at a all-you-can-eat beef buffet. They're there, but they can't digest any of the plant. So what they end up doing is attacking the weeds, because they're fighting. You know, that's a young weed that has been fighting. You can tell by how yellow it is. It's not a complete solid. So they're able to digest that. And if your plants are healthy at this time of year, you shouldn't have bugs even able to eat the plants. They can't digest it, they just won't eat it. And this is the time that most people are putting bug spray on, and it's one of them things that, you know, I read all about it, and learning how to use insects to my advantage in the fields, that was part of it. And I think it's something that a lot of people don't understand. This is the same with the corn. You'll get some early damage from the bugs, but as soon as they get mature, and it's what's called a complete solid, the plant is a complete solid with the proteins and everything, they can no longer digest it. So the bug spray this time of year is actually kind of pointless unless you have health soil issues in your field. So if you're having a lot of bug problems, it's something to do with your soil. It's not just because, oh, I'm in an area that I have all these bug problems, they're eating it off. No, your soil is not growing your plant to a complete solid, and you need to figure that out. Something you learn, you know, because obviously I can't use pesticides, so something you learn going on. I'm always out here looking at the crops and stuff. It's kind of a pastime to me. It was a big part of why I got the side-by-side, because I wanted to be able to just kind of drive around, relax, and look at my crops. So couldn't be happier with this machine though. I'm gonna bring you down. I'll show you what I did. I'm calling them crop deflectors. go take a gander at those quick. Here are my crop deflectors. I was gonna put some tin around them, build a snout, but just I got to looking at them after I built it, and I just couldn't figure out why it wouldn't work just like this. So I went out in the field and tried it. Works like a dream. The nice thing about these, I need to do a couple of things, but you can see that this moves. I need to build like a kick right here that would come out just at an angle, so that way if I do come up on a hill or a rut, it would catch that and it would lift it up. But right now I'm not doing any fields that are like that, so this is how it's attached. One bolt. So when the time comes to take it off, I take that bolt out right there, and I can leave that bracket on the back of it. Just welded some lips on there, bent to catch. These were kind of interesting to get them bent correctly, but it worked. Serving its purpose very well, actually. So now I want some for the front wheels, though. I'm kind of mad at myself for not building them, and those will be very similar, except I'm going to have to build off of this so that it turns with the tires, which is really simple. Actually, a couple of plates, bolts, and then basically miniature versions of those, right? That's my plan anyway. We'll see how well it works. This is what I ended up with on the front of here. Went and did a 12-acre patch, and it works perfectly. I'm able to turn 100%. This just touches this right here when it's all the way turned. It's not enough to tweak it by any means. Right here I got a little too hot when I was bending it. The split right here, so I just put a couple triangles and some farmer welds on there. Good to go. But that worked out really good. Anything that was getting ran over was a couple of the limbs that were already down on the ground that probably wouldn't have got sent through the combine anyhow. So I'm real happy with it. I got back here after doing those 12 acres, and I was gonna get you guys a video the next day, which was yesterday, and a new problem came up. I got back here, no idea when this happened, but I got back here and I parked the tractor, and I was sitting there, and man, am I sitting crooked? What the hell? I got out and looked, and this tire was pretty well flat. Fluid in it, so fluid all over the place, as you can see. The tire and everything is fine. The problem is the rim, of course. Sodium chloride, can't get away from them sodium chloride problems. This is the last tractor that we haven't gotten switched over to windshield washer fluid, and it's gonna happen now, that's for sure. Over here, valve stem just blew out of it basically, and I'm in the hunt now for another rim that's going to give me somewhat the right angles so that I can cut the valve stem out, manipulate it, cut this bad section out here, weld the new section in. Done it before. A lot of 16.9s. These power shift rims are, I mean, tractor rims are getting expensive as it is, but then find power shift rims. Then find 20-inch power shift rims. Yeah, it's interesting. So this was my first attempt at finding a usable valve stem, but I don't... Oh, why did I flip this over? It's already over here. Yeah. I don't believe that the angles are going to be right on that to even be able to manipulate it. But I'm going to see what I can do. Anyhow, this is where I'm going to end this video, guys. we got enough footage of this thing running. Next video, maybe I'll get some footage, a little bit of the crop deflectors working. We'll see what happens. I'm sure you guys have seen enough of the Weed Zapper this year. So it'll just be a short clip, and who knows what's coming next. I think probably getting old Glenn out, and I gotta fix the rear chopper and a couple other little things to get the combine going. So Glenn will probably be the next video you guys get. So I appreciate everybody for watching. One last thing I wanted to talk about. I record everything on my phone. I do all of the editing for YouTube on my mobile device. Everything that you guys see, about 95% of my videos have been recorded on my phone. And I ran it over with side-by-side, and I decided it was time to upgrade a little bit. So I got a new phone here. It's got better video. It does 4K at 60 frames per second, which is what you guys are seeing now. I don't know if anyone's noticed that it's a little bit crisper. But I want to say thank you to you guys, because technically you guys are the ones that paid for this. I used the money that I made from YouTube to buy this. I've been trying to, basically all the money I make from YouTube, I try to upgrade my cameras and do different things, just to keep the videos decent, you know, up to date, stuff like that. And you guys watching the channel and supporting, and all the thumbs up and comments, it all helps out. It gets more people watching the videos, it gets more people watching the advertisements that pay me. So just want to say thank you for that, and I appreciate everybody for watching, checking the channel out, all that fun stuff, supporting me. Sorry if I'm neglecting some of the comments. I'm awfully busy this time of year, and it gets to be a lot of comments to try to talk back, but I do read them all. Eventually I get to them and I try to comment back, and thanks for your patience on that end, I guess. So again, thank you for watching. Hope to catch you guys on the next one.